right. Okay. Just waiting for this other video to come up and get moving here on these topics here. So let's see here. Is this thing going to come live? Okay, there it is. All right. Figure before I get on with my workday, just do a sort of a morning chat, open topic type session. I do have some ideas that I do definitely want to talk about as far as catching up and things that are going on, and of course, obviously leave it open for open discussion as well. If anybody has comments or questions about anything that's going on, I'd be happy to address that as well. So the stream just started. It's just become live. So we're gonna just kind of beat around the bush a little bit while we allow a few people to realize that the stream is live and give them an opportunity to jump on in. So welcome everyone. So if you're sitting in the background, you're lurking, we'll get started here in just a few moments. So in the meantime, let's listen to a little bit of the music going on in the background. It's from one of my albums. It's called Cream Fill, and it's currently playing live over on my Power Karma music channel. So I will share the link to that. Let's see here. Let's see, share. Okay, copy. All right, we're going to throw it in our Twitch chat. Let's see here. Paste that. That's live. And then, of course, we'll paste it down here in our YouTube chat. There we go. That's live. All right. All right. So once again, we'll just wait a few more moments while we allow a few people to get in here, and then I'll just probably jump right in and start talking about a few things that are going on. I forgot to bring something in the office here that I wanted to talk about here, but I'll just bring it up without using it as a prop. But I may have to just go get it though, because there's a couple of things that I want to read out of it that are quite interesting. All right, just noticed that the sun is really trying to pop out now, so I might close that blind because it's making everything a little bit orange in here. Hang on a sec. Let's see, is that better? Yeah, that's better. A little better. All right, so welcome once again, everyone. We'll get started here in just a few moments. So we just got the stream started, and so we will get into our topics here in a little bit. So I have a few topics picked out already to talk about, but I did want to leave it open discussion just in case somebody asks a question, wants to get into something. So now I'll just make it very clear. I will not get into politics. I will not get into religion. I have my views on many, many things, and I just won't get into those particular topics. All right. So I respect everybody's choices and what they do, whether I agree with them or disagree with them. And sometimes it's not even just agree or disagree. It's just life and circumstances, and you just go with the flow. All right. Close that down, and we'll get started on topics here a little bit. Just wait just a little bit longer, and then we'll get moving. Now, hang on a sec. Bear with me just a moment. Okay, we got that. Now, normally at this time I would be in the gym working out. It was kind of a big debate mentally this morning on whether I actually wanted to work out today or not. I didn't really work out over the weekend which is fine, because the prior week I worked out multiple days throughout the week, and sometimes I don't mind that sort of extended break and then jump right back into it first thing Monday morning, which is what I did. And then I believe I worked out again yesterday. Did I work out again yesterday? I'm trying to remember if I worked out yesterday. I don't think I did. But again, it was just another one of those things where kind of like the debate is going on in my head. Is like, okay, do I want to work out today or just kind of jump into something else? So we're not in the gym today, obviously, and even if I was, I should have been in there like a good hour ago, but not in the gym. But the workouts are going really well. I will say that for not being able to do the cardio to the extent that I would like to do. Hey there, Plague Doc. Happy Valentine's Day to you. You just reminded me I'm being a bad husband. I kind of forgot today is Valentine's Day, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I got to start thinking about how I'm going to make up for that. Although my wife is not like really into like all the lovey-dovey of Valentine's Day. I think really it comes down to all the things that you do other than a day that makes you focus on it. You know what I mean? I think that's far more important than on the day of you have to do all these things. So I often randomly send my wife flowers at work, just here and there, just to kind of brighten up the day, or we just having fondue and chocolate strawberries. I hear you. Yeah, I'm all about it, do something, but I think it really counts on those other things in between, like sometimes if I have to go out, do an errand or something, and let's just say I stop by Starbucks, I might grab her a drink and go drop it off by her office because she doesn't work very far here from the house. So, but yeah, happy Valentine's Day. That's a good topic to talk about today, but we'll talk about that. But as far as the workout goes, the workouts have been going really well. I will say again, for not being able to do all the cardio that I would like to do, meaning that my preference is to be on the bike for 60, 90-minute sessions in a really nice tempo or a sweet spot zone, to just stay fit in the cycling arena. While I may not necessarily be racing near as much nowadays, I still like to stay conditioned so that if I want to show up for a local bike race, I can still jump in there and kind of feel competitive, But cardio's down, weightlifting is up, doing a lot of weightlifting, in fact, to the point that I'm actually gaining weight. Okay, so when I say I'm gaining weight, obviously when I stopped the intensity of my rides as much as they have been, and my calorie intake remained relatively the same until I decided to make a change and reduce that. So the weight was going up, but at the same time, I was also doing a lot of weightlifting and a lot of upper body weightlifting. So while I've gained 15, 18 pounds, a good 10 pounds of that has been in muscle, which is a good thing. So I'd rather if I'm going to gain 15, 17, 18 pounds, rather than it all being body fat, that a good majority of it has been muscle. So that's a positive outcome of having to deal with this blood clot and being, tied down to keeping the strenuous lower body activity to a minimum. So anyways, gaining some muscle mass for sure. In fact, I find that a lot of these shirts that I purchased a while ago, whether it's t-shirts or just different shirts for like casual dress, casual office. I bought them purposely large, where I normally tend to wear mediums. I bought a lot of I tend to buy large stuff so that it's kind of that comfort fit. But I'm finding that a lot of my large size t-shirts I'm filling out. I'm filling out in the shoulders. I'm filling out in the chest, in the back. I'm filling all these things out. So it's kind of a positive outcome on the whole situation of not having to do. All right, I got to close this blind just a little bit more because that sun is really starting to brighten stuff up in here way too much. I don't mind natural light coming in the office, but it's just a bit too much. So, all right, so that's a little bit about what's going on fitness-wise, and as far as the workouts and things like that. Doing really well with that, and we're going to stay on it. We're going to keep doing the weightlifting because I do know that the cardio is coming. It's coming. I'm going to get back on the bike. I sense it. I know it. I feel it. I could probably get on now. And even if it's a very casual ride, I think I can get on the bike now because, I'm allowed to do walking, but I know how to ride the bike as though I'm walking. You just have to maintain a very low level of intensity right now. But again, we're going to wait. I'm going to stay patient as possible. My next doctor visit with my vein surgeon, my vein doctor, I call him, is on, let's see here, it's April. I'm trying to remember which one comes first. So I know my hematology appointment is in March, so this month, right? Wait, are we still in February? Yeah, we're still in February. So March is my hematologist. April is my vein doctor again, and that with my vein doctor, that will have been an extended period of time that they didn't need to see me because they're not near as concerned of the condition of the blood clot as they were previously. So I'm hoping that there's some positive outcomes on that. Like, obviously what I'm looking for is that the blood clot has extensively dissolved. And now extensively is probably not a good word, but we just want some improvement, and that the doctor says, okay, we're good with allowing you to ride your bike, and we just need to keep the intensity low. I would be fine with that, okay? Rather than the last visit, when I asked him about can I ride the bike, and his response was yes, but his head's going no. And then he followed up with his preferences is that I walk a minimum of 30 minutes a day. So I kind of took that to heart and kind of just took it to myself and said, hey, you know what? You just be patient. Just stay off the bike. If I get out on my e-bike once in a while, that's fine, because I don't really pedal that much on the e-bike. Now, that's not normally, but right now that's the way I take it. Okay. So again, that visit is coming up. So we're just going to stay positive about that. But in the meantime, the weightlifting is going quite well and working out. So, all right. So that's that. Next topic. Anybody want to bring something up before I jump into the next topic? We can talk a little bit about Valentine's Day. We've already that topic's already come up. As Plague Doc came in and said Happy Valentine's Day, which was a reminder to me that I'm being a terrible husband and forgot all about it. But it's Valentine's Day, so I promise I will do something for my wife. But again, I don't think it's to us. It's not one of those things that we stress, and it's gonna be make or break or do or die if I don't do anything, because I think it's important in a relationship that you're doing something all the time, you know. So like I said before, I regularly randomly send my wife flowers to work just to kind of brighten up the day, you know. Or like I said, if I'm out running errands and I'm out and I go by Starbucks, get a drink, you know, I'll usually grab her one and stop it by her office and give it to her. So not so much worried about that, but I'm going to try to make it a special day so that when she comes home, she's got something. So all right. Next topic here. Let's talk a little bit about music. So some of you are aware that I do make a lot of my own music. Now, I'm not like a great instrumentalist or anything like that. I do play the guitar. I haven't picked it up in a while, but I do compose a lot of music electronically using some music software, and do have my own Spotify channel. So I'm a Spotify artist. I'm also on YouTube Music. I'm on good grief SoundCloud. I am on Music Mark. I can't think of all the different places or platforms that I'm on. I said Spotify, right? Yeah, Spotify. So even some of those links will come up. So let me pull up my Spotify here. Let's see here, Spotify. Try that. And okay, here we go. Copy. All right, here we go. Matias, how you doing? Guten Morgen, Morgan. All right, so there's my Spotify link. I've already shared the link to the current live stream that's going on my Power Karma Music channel, which is a kind of a very light, chill EDM background playlist that I sometimes run. Not necessarily 24/7, but I'll usually run it for about 8 to 12 hours or so throughout the day. What temperature is it here? Very interesting question, because I was just looking at that. So currently, Matias, it is 27 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a beautiful sunny day. We're expecting a high of around 56. So it's going to be clear blue skies all day long. In fact, it got so warm. We're in that interesting phase, that time of the year where it's extremely cold in the morning. I shouldn't say extremely cold, but it's very cold in the morning, you know, below freezing. But then in the afternoon, it warms up significantly with the sun shining and everything like that. In fact, I was in a thermal lined hoodie all day, and then when I went out to go pick up my daughter, I didn't realize it was so warm out, and I ended up having to pull my hoodie off while I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for my daughter, because the sun was just so intense coming into my pickup truck. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but also peak in the day is 3:34 p.m. You're 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now where you're at? Why does that just seem odd to me? That seems just really odd. Like I almost feel like, I don't know, like you should be freezing cold where you're at right now. Don't know why. Again, it's just a little bit ignorance on, you know, your region. I know where you are continentally and everything like that. It just seems like you should be in snow and freezing right now. Don't know why I have that in my head. Okay, let's see here. So music. Let's talk about music for a sec. So, as I was saying about, some of you know I make my own music, and part of the reason why I started making my own music is one, DMCA, copyright strikes, things like that. And granted, I know that there are a lot of people out there that are making music that is essentially copyright free, prevents you from getting DMCA strikes on Twitch, YouTube, other platforms, things like that. But I decided to just, since I am somewhat musically inclined, just kind of go ahead and step in the arena and kind of make some of my own music. So I've released several albums and probably close to, 200 songs within different genres of EDM, dance, chill, background, lo-fi, hi-fi music. I'm currently working on another one. I wanted to get this other album done by the end of 2023, and it didn't happen. It just seems like it's a progressive work in progress. In fact, let me go look at it here real quick. Of the music that's in there in this album, so the new album is going to be called Burn. You gotta be famous. No, I don't think I'm going to be famous. I'm still low enough or high enough on the totem pole to be a nobody, machos. So, I currently have in this playlist 6 songs. And it's just not enough. I still have ideas in my head that I haven't explored yet that kind of go along with the theme of this album called Burn. Now, I will say I have snuck bits and pieces of it out in background in certain videos that I have on my channel, my current YouTube channel. My main YouTube channel, I should say, because I have 10 YouTube channels, but my main Power Karma YouTube channel, I have snuck this music in the background on certain videos just to kind of start the process of so I'll kind of explain the process. Okay, so when I make a song, I process it and and then I merge it with this video software where the software does like different dynamic things with the sound based on images and videos that you put in. So essentially I turned the song into a video so that I could put on my Power Karma music channel. And that begins the process to allow the algorithms to find out if there are any DMCA or copyright issues, because it's very easy that even though you're trying to be original in content, sometimes your original content can follow a certain harmony that could potentially get you a DMCA copyright strike or whatever because somebody's music already sounds like that. So, any case, Ariel Adele is rating with a party of 5. Hey, welcome, Ariel. How you been doing? I've been lurking a lot of your streams lately, so hopefully everything is going well for you. Welcome, Raiders, to the stream. We're just doing a morning chat, open topics today, so kind of just randomly talking about different things here this morning. So welcome to the channel, everyone. In this process of putting all is well, hope you're having a great day. I am today. Didn't work out this morning like I wanted to, but it's a good day. It's a really good day, so appreciate that. So when I create my own music, I put it on YouTube, and that begins the process of allowing YouTube to determine if there's any patterns of where it would potentially get copyright strike. Once it's passed all those tests, then I will repackage the music into an album, and then I will put it onto my I don't know what you want to call it, my producer software. Okay, so there's so just as you, if you're, just so you're aware, not anybody can just go to Spotify and upload music and podcasts and things like that. Okay, so you have to have, there's usually third-party apps that are sort of like album labels or producers, things like that. You have to go through them in order to put your music on Spotify. Okay, so I go through this third party, and there's several of them out there. There's some good ones and there's some bad ones. The one I use is Amuse, which works really well for me. So I package the albums. You have to create an album label, an album image. You upload all your content. They do like about a 1 week to 2 week evaluation on it, and then they start putting it out to all the different platforms, whether it's Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify. There's music apps that I didn't even realize are out there. Some of them are proprietary to certain countries and things like that. So once that goes out there, then I go live and I publish it and everything like that. And I've gotten past all the different copyright issues that you could potentially have. So it's kind of a unique thing that, like I said, you can try to be as original as possible in creating music, but if you just have this one little harmony that sounds like someone's, all of a sudden you're going to get flagged, and somebody says, "Oh, we're claiming the copyrights on this. The themes are so close." And so generally, I usually rebuttal it every time because I know I created it. I didn't go take anybody's music. And then if they don't respond within a 30-day period, then the strike goes away, and then they can no longer claim rights or monetization to the music and things like that. So it's a very interesting thing about the whole music industry if you're remotely into it. So anyways, back to the album. The new album is going to be called Burn, and it's going to be released here soon. I promise. That's one of the things I need to do. I could probably release it early and then add some of the songs onto it later. But like I said, right now it just doesn't have enough music in it right now. But let me play a couple of samples for you, if you don't mind. So let me turn this background music off. All right, so let's see here. Did that stop? Yep. Okay. All right, so this is a couple of samples from this new album called Burn. This first one is called Blue Ice. Now, I may have to put a headphone on. Hang on a sec. Let's put this one on. Let's put this on. I want to be able to hear, and I don't want the feedback to come into the microphone, so I'm going to turn that down and then play. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. So this first song is called Blue Ice. Now, this particular album, like I said, I do different things where I might do a very chill, lo-fi, electronic sound, like background, easy playlist, and then I'd have some very upbeat stuff. I even made one album that every song in it I made specifically for cycling, and even in fact every song title is related to cycling in some capacity. So it's kind of an upbeat tempo album just if you want to be on the bike, you're spinning, you're doing something like that. This one here is going to be a little bit more on the upbeat side. So this first tune is called Blue Ice. Let's see here. All right, let me turn this audio up here. So this is just a sample from Blue Ice. All right, now that is one of the songs that I snuck in a video recently. So again, even though I haven't released the song publicly yet, I did sneak it into a video just to start that process of making sure the algorithms don't hit it for any copyright issues. So like I said, it's very, very easy because there's so much music out there, and somebody will claim that, hey, your music's harmony or is too close to this, so they'll flag it. So that's one new one. This other one is called Firestorm right here. All right, so that one's called Firestorm. Another one is called, now remember the album is called Burn, so I'm kind of keeping all the songs within the realm of like fire, flames. Even though the one tune is called Blue Ice, the blue is more related to like the blue that you see in Blue Flames, okay? So this next one is called Flaming. All right, so that's Flaming. This next one is called Red Hots. All right, that's Red Hots. This next one is called Rocks. So again, try to keep a upbeat tempo on this one here. And then this last one is actually going to be the title song, because remember the album that I'm going to release here soon is called Burn, but the title song is called The Burn. The Burn. So this is it. All right, so that's it for that. Let me pull these out here so I can hear myself. All right, so that will be released soon. Like I said, I got a few more that I need to add to it for sure. The goal was to get it out early, and that didn't quite happen as much as I really wanted to. Just the holidays kind of got in the way, things got in the way, and so I just didn't get it out there like I wanted to. So anyways, that's on the topic of music. Let's move on to the next thing. Are there any questions out there or anything else that you want to talk about? Like I said, this is open topic, so I did definitely select some things that I want to talk about today. But I'm open to if you want to talk about something else. So let's see here. I know I got some people here in YouTube for sure. I know we got some people in Twitch for sure. So if you got an idea or something you want me to talk about, just bring it on up and I'll talk about it. I'll give just a few moments for that. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's talk about the next topic here. Let's talk about live streaming for a bit, okay? And a specific type of live streaming. We're talking about IRL. As many of you know, I do quite a bit of IRL live streaming, whether it's riding my bike, which obviously I can't do a lot of that right now, walking, driving. So I've done quite a bit of IRL streaming, and I have several different IRL live streaming setups that I use, whether, I've got, backpacks, different things, how I live stream differently on the bike, whether I have gear that I can mount to the bike, I mount it to my body, it just depends on what I'm doing and exactly how I'm doing it. So IRL streaming is definitely a thing that I like to do. And so we're going to be hopefully doing a lot more of it this year. I've got some ideas. I don't want to get into all the details, but I've kind of got some things in the works that are going to hopefully allow me to get out and travel a bit more and capture all that on live stream. So it may not necessarily be as much bike racing or bike riding that I would like to do, just simply because I'm still thinking that as far as recovery from this blood clot thing that I'm dealing with, it's going to be long term, okay? But within that realm of long term, now when I say long term, they're telling me anywhere from 6 months to a year, okay? But within that 6 months to a year, I'm sure that my activity levels could come up to some extent. And I'm not sure. I'm just I'm thinking more, I'm more extrapolating based on the current circumstances, what they were and where I progressed to, okay? So whether, from the beginning where it was a very high amount of restriction on activity to where they allowed it to open up a little bit more. And so I just kind of extrapolating that as things progress, there'll be a little bit more that I can do. So with that in mind, Terry Barrettson, I think a lot of you do know him. Live streamer on Twitch. In fact, he could be live right now. Let me just take a quick peek. Let's see here. New York bike rider, has done several streams where he travels across the U.S. One from New York to Portland, Oregon. He just finished up one recently from D.C. down to Florida. And so just a really a great personality to follow. And so he's inspired me to do something like that. And so what I'm hoping is that I'm not sure that it will be this year. I'm kind of have my fingers crossed that it could be this year, like maybe later in the year, like maybe around October or so, where the weather is still decent and starting to cool off a little bit. But I'm already semi-planning to do a multi-day live stream where I ride my bicycle from here in Albuquerque to Las Vegas, Nevada. Now that's not totally exceptional, like going across the U.S. or anything like that, but I just figured I'd just start with something like that, because I do know that for the most part you can easily ride your bike from here all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada. Now a great deal of it will be on interstate, which it's not something I'm highly looking forward to, but I've driven that route many times, and I know that the shoulder is very wide, and I often see long distance cyclists, fully geared with panniers and packs and everything, riding it every now and then. But I thought, why not just turn it into a live stream, just go on out there. Now I've already kind of semi-planned some of the logistics, been studying the map, studying distances, trying to determine where I would stay on each day. And so right now, if I was to kind of throw a number out based on the amount of mileage that you would have to do per day, anywhere from 80 to 120 miles a day, that it could very potentially be an 8 to 9 day trip. Okay. And that's, I got to go back and look at some of my paperwork and I think that includes a rest day in there, or a rest day or two, or potentially it was 7 to 8 days just straight through, no rest days whatsoever. So anyways, that's something that's in the works, on my mind right now, thinking about that. And again, a lot of it is based on what happens with this whole blood clot issue here. So again, now obviously I think even if you're riding multiple states, multiple days, 80 to 100 miles a day, I still don't anticipate that my intensity is going to be really high. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like I'm going to be riding 70, 80% of my thresholds or anything like that, where it's going to be so intense that I'm going to be wiped out. It's going to be a very slow, chill ride. I'm potentially you're talking about riding almost 8 to 9 hours out of the day while live streaming it, and getting to your next destination and your next destination and your next destination and so forth. I don't think I would by any means do it like a camping by any means. It would definitely be making it to the next city that has a hotel, a motel, motel, and then making it to the next location, hotel, motel, so forth. So that is something in the works, something I'm planning. So we will see here. I have my hopes that it could happen this year, but I also need to prepare my mind that it may not happen until next year as well. So, and I'm okay with that. I've learned to have to be patient about a lot of things right now. Okay, trust me. And I'm a very patient person as it is, but this circumstance has been a bit of a challenge to my patience lately. I will say that. So, are you going to plan it around one, or your run, or your? Hold on, I got to get my old man glasses. Are you going to plan it around one or your vacation and have the wife meet you there? Yeah. So, exactly, kind of like that, Dimitri. So, definitely thinking about. Definitely plan it around a vacation for sure, and have like my wife drive out there like towards the last day. So I don't necessarily want her driving and following me out there. You know what I mean? And it depends on how it goes too, you know, so it might be like, maybe it's not around one of my vacations when we go out there. I just have one of my brothers pick me up or something like that in Vegas, you know, spend a couple of days in Vegas. Or, like I said, have my wife drive out there. And, you know, when I get there, we already have our hotel and we just go ahead and have our vacation. That way I can load my bike up and drive home. So again, those are things that are, that have been loosely talked about with my wife, but nothing is concrete yet, if that makes sense. It's just right now we're just kind of spinning the web and kind of, you know, brainstorming, brewing. One of my favorite words is vomiting thoughts, you know. So yeah, I'm thinking about it very, very, very hard. I think it would be a very interesting stream. I know that the stream would stay running about 99% of the time because I have driven that route before doing a live stream, and the live stream stayed up almost 100% of the time. So that will definitely be a non-issue. So there might be some people that'll be a little bit uncomfortable with me riding the main interstate, but I won't be worried about it, you know. So so any case, all right, let me look at the time, y'all. All right. I am about out of time, everyone. So I'll continue on with that subject right there unless somebody else has something they want to bring up. So once again, we've had a few people pop in and out of YouTube. So thank you, everyone. And we still have some lurkers here on Twitch. So I can move on to the next topic. Or if somebody wants to bring something up, let's see. Oh, Dimitri's over here on YouTube as well. Let's see here. Anybody want to bring something up before I move on to the next topic? I may have to step out and go get something so that I can talk about the next topic. Or maybe I won't. I'll just describe it. I'll give you all just a few moments if you want to pop something in there very quickly. No takers on the open topics, huh? I can talk about anything, really. I can talk about leadership, I can talk about cycling, I can talk about automotive repair, I can talk about truck repair, I can talk about electrical. I could talk about just about anything. Some of it might be some bullshit. You might even look carefully when I talk. You might see my shoestrings fall out of my mouth because my foot's so far up there. All right, let's talk about the next topic then. Since nobody's going to participate, give me a topic. Book reading. All right, how many of you are into reading books? Anybody like to read, or are we do we still visit local bookstores, you know, as they're starting to shut down? Yeah, it's been a while too. You know, as audio books have kind of become the new thing, you know. Um, I don't think we've been to local bookstores. You know what? I would encourage it. I'm trying to get back into reading myself. I'm not really big on reading, and I'm trying to be careful how I say that, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm completely ignorant and I don't read at all, because I do read books. In fact, you know, I got a collection of books down there. Now, most of them are business books, like Transcend. Let's see here. These are some books I've read in the past. Creating the High Performance Workplace is a good book if you definitely want to change your culture. And, you know, some of these books are like not necessarily good just for your business, but just for your personal absorption and, you know, what they do. Like this book here, also the Influencer, really good book. I actually did a course on this here, so I'm actually certified to teach this program about Influencer. So that's a really good book about how to influence outcomes and, you know, the structure behind how you can be an influencer. Team of Teams. This was a good book here by General Stanley McChrystal. Some of you may have seen the movie out there related to this. I can't think of the name of the movie. But this is a good book. It was actually a bit of a hard read for me, and I'll explain why here in a bit. Transcend, really good book by PhD Dr. Scott Barry Kaufman. Really good book. I met Scott at a learning conference in Colorado. I'm trying to think how long ago it was. It looked good, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. Really cool guy, funny, very funny. And then, of course, this is a really good book, The Fearless Mind. This is life-changing book right here. You want to, and this guy here, Craig Manning, PhD, does a lot of training, the psychological training for a lot of Red Bull athletes, things like that. So the Fearless Mind is like really dealing with the challenges of sports and how you maintain a fearless mind. I don't want to get into all the concepts and steps, but I just recommend that book. And then, of course, you know, this is more relative to things that I do on a personal, professional level, 4 levels of training evaluation. But I've also read a lot of other books. Some of them I can't even think of the title of. But the reason why I'm talking about books right now is because I'm trying to get back into reading books again. Now, I'm not a really big Audible book guy. Now, I do have some Audibles. And the biggest reasons why I'm not into Audibles is just because I'm one of these people that certain types of music, the person's voice will turn me off on that music. And it's the same thing with Audible books. The person's voice will turn me off on remotely even wanting to listen to the book. Okay. So now the issue with reading is, I hate to even admit this, but I'm going to admit it. I have a very slow comprehension level. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is that it takes me a while when I'm reading something to consume it and digest it enough that I'm understanding it. It's just been a thing all my life, and it's partly why I don't like reading, because I may have to read a paragraph 3-4 times, like till now I get it. If it sinks in, what are the best ways you have found to avoid burnout and losing motivation when it comes to exercise? I can answer that. I actually I can answer that very easily. Okay. Let me finish this idea on books. Okay. So my turnoff to reading books is because I have to spend so much time reading the book over and over to understand it. But what I've learned is that if a book has a certain amount of spacing and white spacing, it's easier for me to digest and do that content. As an example, look here. This may not be a perfect example, but like this book here, I don't know if it's going to focus. This page is like at the minimum of the spacing between the sentences where it's too close and cluttered that I'm starting to lose on the read, okay? And there's other books where, like this one, a great deal more white spacing. I don't know if that camera's gonna, there's a great deal more white spacing in there. So how the book is printed is going to determine whether I'm going to be interested or not. Now, if you look at this Team of Teams, it's a bit cluttered for me, and while it's an interesting read, I struggle with it because I'm having to read it over and over and over. So I recently got back into book reading again. I found out that my sister has given up she's been in the nursing practice for, I don't know, 20 plus years, almost 30 years, I believe. And she's kind of quit the nursing field and has moved into opening up like pop-up bookstores. Okay. And so I've been buying some books from her store. And so I've got a few interesting ones that I'm reading right now. One of them is called The 48 Laws of Power, which is a good read. And I have like 3 others in the queue that I'm working on. So I'm just going to encourage everyone, just use that as an opportunity to get to your local bookstores, find some books. Don't forget about reading. Reading is good for you, okay? All right, let's address this topic here, and then I got to cut out for the day, okay? So Ramsey asked the question, what are the best ways you have found to avoid burnout and losing motivation when it comes to exercise? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to look at that as two-part question, okay? So burnout is one part, okay? Burnout, the biggest way to avoid burnout is to make sure your routine is changing, okay? I can probably give multiple examples where, like, here's an example. When it comes to training on the bike, my coach will often give me certain exercises or routines, and when it comes right down to it, I hate them because I don't like to follow numbers. I prefer randomness versus structure, when in many cases you need structure to get to where you need to be, right? But you need to make sure things are changing in order to avoid the burnout. And obviously, when you say burnout, that implies that you're overdoing it as well. Okay, so I think one of the biggest things is making sure that you're sticking to some kind of plan that changes, that's variable, that keeps your interest in it. It's like opening a box every day, and it's like, oh, here's a new workout. Let's try this one. And then of course, to avoid the burnout is just don't go beyond what you need to do, which is a problem for me. I'm the type of person that doesn't know how to say no to myself, and I will go beyond what I need to do. So I'm always facing that issue of burnout. But try to keep things different and don't do more than you should. Stick to a plan. Okay. Now, motivation is something that I talk about a lot. Motivation is something I talk about like almost every day. I won't say almost every day, but let's say every day that I'm doing a gym live stream, whether I'm on TikTok Live or Twitch, and I'm doing a workout, I always get into the topic of about how this doesn't feel good. Like I don't want to be in the gym. Like today, I didn't want to be in the gym. I was literally just sitting in the closet with my hands in my hoodie, just sitting there staring at the wall, thinking I don't want to do this today. And, rightfully so, I had a good workout yesterday. But even yesterday, I didn't want to work out. And so the point I'm trying to get to, Ramsey, is this. You're never really motivated to do anything, okay? It's always, you have to put in the steps in the actions first, then the motivation kicks in, okay? So it's never like, oh, yeah, I get up out of my bed and like, man, I want to work out. I'm just like thrilled about it. It doesn't happen. I have to stick to the routine of taking the actions and the steps that puts me in the gym to the point where the motivation kicks in. Okay. So as an example, when I get up, I head to my office. Not to my office. I'm in my office now. I walk past my office. I go, and I might change how I do this. There's times where I go straight to the kitchen, go make my coffee, or I will take a left down the hallway, head over to the gym, turn on the gym, turn on the heater, turn on the lights, and then I'll come back down the hall, go to the kitchen, and then make my coffee. So I've started a process of steps to get me to go in the gym because I'm creating that environment where I know I have to go in there. Okay, so I'm already preparing to go in there. All right, and then even when after I finish my coffee and I do my things here on the internet and surfed and researched, done what I done, kind of prepare my calendar for my work day, all that type of stuff. Then I go get in the closet. I go get my workout gear on. Then I head over to the gym. I start setting up, thinking about my movements. What 3 or 4 movements am I going to do today? Set up the gym and this. And then by then, the motivation still hasn't kicked in. I'm just still going through the steps of getting there. And then all of a sudden, once the workout begins, you do your first warm-up set. And it's like, this actually feels pretty good. Now I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling like pumped. I'm like, all right, let's go. You get into your 4th set, your 5th set, and so forth. You change your routine. You move into the next movement, and things are starting to feel good. By the time you get finished that 35, 45 minutes, hour, whatever, you end up feeling pretty good by the time it's all said and done. So that's just my thought process on motivation. I'm not going to say that it's true to definition, a dictionary, but I just always remind myself that I'm never really ever going to be motivated to do something. I have to take the steps and the actions to get me to that point. So Ramsey, I hope that helps. I know it may not be what you wanted to hear, but that's just my thoughts on it. There's an interesting video out there. I'll tell you this, Ramsey, there's a video out there that I remind my kids about often, and it's called How to Stop Screwing Yourself. In fact, let me just find it here really quick. Instead of me talking about it, I'll pull it up here. I can't remember her name. It was a TED Talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over. Let me see if this is it. Okay, Mel Robbins, okay, which I very interesting. Started seeing her come across my TikTok feed, which is kind of ironic. I'm so scared of TikTok now. The stuff that they randomly bring across your feed, almost like they know you. Okay, but let me share a section in here if you don't mind. I'm gonna let her explain the concept about this. It's called I believe the 5-minute rule. You know, so y'all heard about the 5-minute rule, 10-minute rule, or whatever. You know, you drop something on the floor, it's like, you know, it's still good to eat, right? Well, she has this other 5-minute rule, and it may be less. I can't remember exactly, but again, I'll just let her explain it. Okay, so let me kind of get to that point in that video, and I'll pull it up. Hold on, I gotta. Let me mute this. I gotta plug my ears in again. I can't hear what she's saying. Okay.
Anything that's a break from your routine, just at this level, or dissatisfied. Everything about your life, forcing yourself. So get out of your head, because you will never feel like it. 3 seconds when you're sitting here in a studio.
Okay. Let me start this part right here. Okay. Now I am going to encourage you to go listen to the whole video, okay? Because there's a whole lot that she talks about how the brain works, whether it's going to be working in cruise control mode or stop and hit the brakes, you know, as far as your comfort levels, things like that. Let me switch screens here. I think I want this one. Let's see here. Is it this one? Yeah, this one here. All right, let me put this one up. Close that. And all right, here we go. So I'm just going to play just a little bit of this, okay? So I'm not going to play the whole thing. Let me make sure my desktop audio is working. Yep, let me turn this up.
Forcing yourself to get outside, out of your head. Thank you. If you're in your head, you're behind enemy lines. That is not God talking, okay? It's not. In fact, if I put a speaker on it and we broadcast what you say to yourself, we would institutionalize you. You would not hang out with people that talk to you the way you talk to yourself. So get out of your head. Your feelings are screwing you. I don't care how you feel. I care about what you want. And if you listen to how you feel when it comes to what you want, you will not get it. Because you will never feel like it. And you need to get outside your comfort zone. It's not about taking risks. Right. It's about getting
This is where she gets into that part here about the rule, okay?
Zone.
Now, again, I can't remember the time.
3 seconds, when you push yourself out of bed, they blow. But once you're up, it's great. Those first 3 seconds when you're sitting here in a studio or a stadium like this and somebody says, get up and come dance, minutes. And you think, oh, I should do that. And you're like, oh. That experience that you had where you had the impulse to do it, and then you didn't do the activation energy required to force yourself, your emergency brake got pulled. I'm sitting right here. I'm not going up with those crazy people. I don't like to dance. I don't anyway. Well, what happened for me is I came up and I bumped into Rachel, and then we started talking, and next thing you know, she's tweeting. And we're friends, and boom. Get outside. That's where the magic is. That's where the 1 and 400 trillion exists. So everything I do, wait, okay, this is the last part, sorry. So one more thing that you can use, I call it the 5-second rule.
5-second rule.
Your mind can process a facial expression in 33 milliseconds. It can move pretty damn quick. The other thing that it does very quickly is if you have one of those little impulses that are pulling you, if you don't marry it with an action within 5 seconds, you pull the emergency brake and kill the idea. Kill.
All right, so that's what I'm going to stop with. So that concept goes along with my idea and concept about motivation. So a series of steps and actions you're doing to do the thing that you don't want to do. Okay. And I often relate this whole 5-second rule to the same thing, because now I recommend you go read the whole video, because she talks about how the brain works as far as your comfort levels. You know, she goes into this whole idea of like the cruise control or pull the brakes, right? But if you have a thought or an impulse and you don't marry an action to it right away, you're just gonna toss it to the side. It's gonna smolder. It's gonna go cold. You know, you're just not gonna do it. So when you have the impulse, get up, do something about it. That's how that works. Okay. All right, everyone. I have to get on with my day, so I'm gonna shut it down there. Appreciate you all stopping in. Racer Civic, we'll see you. Dimitri, we'll see you. Ramsey, we'll see you. And all those of you that were hanging out on YouTube, we'll see you on YouTube. So I'm going to shut down YouTube first. Let's see here.